first current stat is about Nibiru. Virtually all the Skywatch cams on the planet are watching this thing. They are seeing it. Amateur astronomers are seeing it. The news obviously isn't covering it. The governments of the world are not really saying much of anything, with the exception of a few. On March 15th, a YouTube video was posted by Steve Olson, O-L-S-O-N. And this link will be up when we're done. And he has video and photographic evidence of an event that occurred prior to that date, March 15th, of an explosion occurring in front of the Nibiru star and its planetary system that is coming in. They make the presumption that it was an attack. It wasn't an attack. Essentially what it is, it's technology that is being used to create a field in front of the star system that stops its trajectory. And basically what I'm saying is it made it stop dead in its tracks. Now, I don't believe that this was someone else doing it. I believe that the Nibiruans, the Anunnaki, did this themselves. For the reason that they are having conversations with the benevolence about the planet, what's going on here, etc., etc. So, my point is this, and then we'll get into some other things. The star system, Nibiru the star, and its planets and its moons have stopped moving. They are sitting just off our horizons. Okay? They're not moving. They're stationary at the moment. Now, if they remain there, this would be a really good thing for us, because it would allow us the ability to move around the sun, to continue our rotation around the sun before it starts moving again, and therefore we would not have horrific loss of life and dramatic earth changes. This would be a very good thing, if it in fact stays stationary. And it is stationary. It has been for several days now. And we continue to keep moving, so this is positive. This would put some distance between us and it when it finally starts to move. Now, I believe that this is a joint, a decision that has been made, because they're a warrior class. If they were attacked, they would, of course, respond in kind. And that is simply not the case. So, when this event occurred, the powers that be on Earth, the Illuminati, the New World Order, they freaked out. They freaked out. And they are scrambling. All these underground meetings, many of them are moving into underground facilities. There is all kinds of things going on, a lot of scurrying going on all over the place, okay, by the powers that be. Because, you know, their plan was to try to get rid of 2/3 of the world's population. And because of the benevolent intervention, they were not going to be able to, you know, do something completely dastardly. So their plan was, well, when Nibiru comes across and creates all these earth changes, then, you know, there'll be a dramatic loss of life. Well, clearly that's not happening right now, if the status quo remains. So now they're scrambling because they have no idea what to do next, because they're being found out. Okay, they're being exposed. And what's going to happen if none of these events happen? All their plans to dominate, to take over, to hurt and harm humanity, to blame us for their crimes, to you know, punish us for the things that they've done to humanity, we're all going to be looking for them. So they're scrambling, folks. They have a real problem on their hands, and it's just frankly quite awesome. And I'm truly hoping that the status quo remains, that the Nibiru star and its system remain stationary for now as we move ourselves out of its way around the sun. If that doesn't happen and they start moving forward again, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But even with benevolent assistance, there were going to be some earth changes, okay? Simply because of the gravitational field of a dark star. It's enormous. Not only that, but it also puts the benevolence in harm's way as well. But if Nibiru would stay stationary till we moved around the sun, that's a solution that benefits everybody. It really does. We'll have to see what's going on with that. So we will post that YouTube. There was also another YouTube post that was on March 13th by Jeff D., where it clearly shows an enormous starship cloaking just outside our atmosphere. And that was pretty awesome to watch. The Skycam caught it just as it was going invisible, and it's pretty spectacular, and I'm looking forward to you guys seeing that. Now, as that's going on off-world, here on the planet, in Israel, we have prominent rabbis, and I mean prominent rabbis, who have been talking not only about Nibiru, but also about the Messiah. And the BreakingIsraeliNews.com was the first to break these stories on the internet. There is a January 25th, 2016 story, February 24th, 2016 story, and a March 10th, 2016 story. And according to these rabbis, what they're telling their people, their flock, is that Nibiru is coming and it's bringing the Messiah in its wake. Okay, so let me say that again. Nibiru is coming and it is bringing the Messiah in its wake. As if things weren't strange enough here already. Okay, that's pretty significant stuff. So I want you to research that. It's important that you do, because unfortunately, we're the last to know what's officially going on here. But what's very important is that we do everything that we can to maintain a positive field, that we stay grounded, that we stay in a position, a spiritual position of love, of guidance. That doesn't mean we give our power away ever to anyone. That is not what I'm saying. But as you stay the observer, you have the ability to see how things truly unfold and to see how people truly react in those circumstances. And it is important that you do that, because as you remain the observer, your intuition will guide you as to what to do and what not to do. Okay, what we don't want to do is move into any kind of a space of fear, because that's where we kind of nullify our instincts, and we don't want to do that, not with all this stuff going on. Okay, we want to maintain a place of balance, a place of power, personal power, and knowingness, trusting our own spiritual guidance to know what to do. Because as third density truly begins to unravel, and that's the operative word here, unravel, okay, we need to allow ourselves to be guided, not only by a higher power, but also by our own soul, our own spirit. Okay, because it already knows what's happening. We just have to allow our egos to get out of the way, or force our egos out of the way, so that we can get that inner guidance. It's imperative that we pay attention to this. Okay, so that's important. I want you to research these articles regarding the Messiah.